Hello, welcome back to Europa. This episode's actually going to be a little more interesting, maybe. In particular because I will be starting the process of completely automating the printers so that they automatically take ingots from the vending machine. I'll also be adding on the third floor, finishing that up, upgrading the airlocks, and I'm going to turn the workshop into a vacuum because the vacuum is better for the batteries. Usually I'll actually do this a lot earlier on, but for some reason in this particular playthrough I don't do it until now. I've also decided to add some background music to this video. Since I'm planning to make the workshop into a vacuum, things actually get kind of quiet. So I figured some background music would help spice things up a bit. All of this music is Creative Commons and is free for use as long as I include a mention of it in the description of this video, which I will do. So whenever I want ingots now, I've got to eject them out of that vending machine, just for the time being. Eventually I'll hook up some chutes and stuff and connect the output of that vending machine to the input of all the printers. But right now I'll get sensors and consoles in all these airlocks. One of the things I like to do is to label absolutely everything inside of an airlock, even if it's not one of the things that needs to be labeled for the console to work. And on the doors and on the console, I'll give it some sort of a little bit more of a friendly name, because that whatever text you type there ends up being displayed. But here I'll label the APC as well, even though it's not really necessary. Whenever I use the network analyzer, you can see these names show up in the list. It gives you some idea of what's what, if you want to figure out how much power each system is using. I also like to set the internal and external pressures both to 0 That way it will, when it's going through its cycle, it will do the decompression but won't bother with a repressurization phase. So you can get through the airlock a little faster. You just get a gust of wind whenever you go through the airlock, which doesn't seem to be any big deal. Sometimes stuff will go flying around, but I've even had like pipes come flying in at me, and I've never actually been injured by it. So I think that setting both of those values to 0 doesn't seem to cause too much of a problem. And there we go. That has a console in it now. So it's easier to use. I don't have to worry about screwing anything up anymore. I'll stick some in these other 2 airlocks too, but I'll set them up later. Now I like to set the active and passive vents up a little higher, but those battery chargers are in the way, so I'll just put them there instead. I don't think it matters in the slightest. Especially since the interior active and passive vent set actually isn't necessary because the inside will be a vacuum. However, with the advanced airlock card, you need to have both, so I just, for completeness sake, I'll just set them both up. That way also, if in the future I decide to pressurize the workshop, I have the active and passive vents. So it's not a problem that way.
Power low.
There we go. Another airlock pretty much done. Now I'm going to work on this one, but I think I'll need some more cables pretty soon. Oh, got lots of cables. That's good. And now this airlock is more or less ready to go. No storm coming anytime soon. And this is the what will eventually be the third floor. Make this third floor one unit less wide, so that it doesn't go over top of where the light is coming in for the solar panels below it. Also, day 36. I'll start printing out some IC chips to actually do the automation for the printers. We go flying up off of my ladder. Ladders are a bit of a pain in the butt in this game. Getting on and off of them, they tend to grab you and you don't want to be going up them. And then getting off of them is like you get stuck on them. I'll set up one of the automation chips here. Gonna need a bunch of chutes. Which needs lots and lots of iron. There's the sound of lots of power being generated in the background there. These glass windows are fairly expensive. Lots of silicone going into each window.
Power low.
just using this tablet and checking out the numbers where it says room number 10 and room number 133. Just want to make sure they're sealed in rooms and that they're different rooms. Now I will turn on the vents in both of these airlocks pumping outwards, and it will slowly decrease the pressure inside this workshop. Also want to fill in all these floors completely. Looks like there's lots of resources underneath the base. I don't know if I want to go mining directly underneath my base. On the other hand, I have done that before when I wanted to make a basement underneath for doing all the wiring and plumbing. So that is one option. Takes a while. I hear something I missed last time when I was wiring all this up. I didn't connect that wireless power transmitter. So there, now it's connected. Need some powered chutes as well, and those I will use to control what direction the ingots go as they're traveling through their chutes, so control which printer they go to. In the past I would have used the sorters, but they're big bulky things, and I've actually figured out a way to do it with the digital chute flip-flops. You can control them directly with logic and control what direction they're going. It's just a little bit tricky, but it can be done. Guess I'm gonna go get some food and water first. Oh, look what's for dinner. It's a potato. Yay. Would never have guessed potato. Gonna have to start growing some different crops at some point in time. But for now I need some, I think it was Electrum and Constantin. So we'll just make some Electrum. No problem. Electrum is a low pressure ingot, so I just need to get the pressure down low enough. It's not too hard to make. Yep, boom, there's some electrum. And I'll set the stacker up so that I can chop up things that are in stacks of 200 into 50s. Also going to make some Constantin. It's not terribly hard because the upper limits on the pressure and temperature are really high temperatures and pressures that I won't ever get that furnace up to, so just need some copper and nickel. And about 20 megs of pressure. And the temperature is pretty high too. I think it's over 1 kilokelvin. Or 1.2, I can't remember for sure. Yeah, there it is. It's 1 kilokelvin, or 726 Celsius. Luckily I've got nitrous fuel, so heating up a furnace is pretty easy. I'm going to reduce the pressure down a bit before adding more fuel, because increasing the temperature and the amount of fuel in a furnace actually increases the pressure. Plus, it's easier to heat up the furnace at a lower pressure than at a higher pressure. And there we go. And 200 Gs of Constantin. Done with the furnace for now, so I'll empty it back out into the insulated tank. Put the Constantin in the autolathe. And now I can print out these powered chutes. The pressure has gotten pretty low in this room too. We're down to 1 kilopascal. And the sound from the wind turbines isn't quite so intense, which is kind of nice. Much as I love the power that those things produce, they are pretty noisy. And I think it's day 37 at this point, so they're coming along. And there we have chutes connected from the output of that furnace, or output of that vending machine. And I'll grab the powered chute and stick it there. And I'll pick the digital flip-flop splitter. It can be either the left or the right, whichever works, as long as you get the arrows pointing the right direction. One going straight through and then the other one going down. And then one for each printer. There might be a way to get away without setting one up for the auto lathe, but I like to have one there so that if any situation happens where it's put an ingot into the system that it didn't need to, it just goes straight through. I need some more chutes. It's nice that I can build these chutes partially embedded in the printers, so they just go right above the printers. They look like they're connected to them, or like looks like it's all one connected unit. Here's where I'm kind of indecisive a little bit. I need to set up a few consoles and an LED display for that IC chip. And I just can't figure out where the heck I want it to go. Here's a bit better, so I don't have to run a wire upstairs. Now I need some more copper, but I've got to disconnect all these chutes. I'll disconnect that one as well, because you never know if one of the chutes is going to like suck up the ingot after I get it out of the vending machine. They seem to like to do that. And I got to take that one off as well. Bit of a pain. There we go. And a little bit more gold for the copper and gold monster here. Might as well get a bunch of stuff in there while I have all the chutes disconnected. Make sure it has enough resources for the next little while. Now I end up putting all the stuff up, and then at some point I'll tear it all down because I realize I just have it all wrong. The wiring won't work this way. I'm going to set up another IC10 chip. This one will be to drive a display that will display how much of each ingot I have currently inside that vending machine. It also can be used to set a desired minimum and maximum number of each ingot, and set up a external memory to request more of a certain ingot if it's too low, or eject them if it's too high. But both of those functions are actually optional. You don't need to have them right off the bat. And then there's these LED displays, but if I put them facing that way, they actually display the number upside down, which is kind of inconvenient. And that LED will display the status of the printer chip that's trying to deliver the ingots to the printers. So if it goes red and it's displaying a picture of an ingot in that display next to it, that means that it's out of that particular ingot. Here I am running the wiring along the top, and I'm just not sure if that's where I want it, and because I also want to put some solar panels up there and it might get in the way. So now I'm just tearing all the stuff down again.
Power low.
And of course, trying to clip wires on the other side of a window. Even though you can place them, you can't clip them. So there is one way to clip them, though. If you make the wire stick out the other side, then you can. I just got to put that dial back. And I can't adjust the screws on that dial because they're on the other side of the glass. Get rid of all this bad wiring.
Hydration critical.
Gotta get some hash displays for those consoles as well. And of course some glass. There we go. And as I mentioned earlier, yeah, you can't set those numbers on that dial. So what I gotta do is create another wall on the other side of that wall so I could take that wall down on the inside. So I go to put up a wall and then realize that it's a steel sheet that I need, not plastic. So I gotta go back in and get some steel sheets. Just never ends. I'm intentionally leaving that that active vent running while I run through that airlock so that it will continue to depressurize the workshop. And of course, got to label everything. And that will display the quantity of the selected ingot. This will display the number of slots used in that vending machine, so we know how full the vending machine is. This will display the what ingots the printer system is requesting, and that will be the status. So it will be status is green if everything's good, yellow if it's checking to see whether or not it has any of the ingot, then purple if it's delivering an ingot, and red if it's failing to deliver the ingot because it's run out. Might as well turn those stackers off. I think they draw 50 watts when they're idle. Seems like a bit much to me. That's what it is. Oh, these have to be named a specific way. DC colon tools, DC colon electronics, because I take advantage of the new commands that we have for IC10, the LBN and SBN, load batch name and save batch name, and these commands allow me to address more things than more than 6 things, because we only have 6 pins on that chip. But if you want to, you can also use it. You can also connect to it by name. You just have to have the same name on the label maker that you use in your code. It has to be completely identical. So here I paste in the code from my GitHub into the editor for the, and this one is for automating sending ingots from the vending machine to the printers. And it just checks what the printer needs for whatever you have selected from the menu, with the exception of iron, copper, gold, silicon, and steel. For those things, it will maintain a minimum of 50 in the printer, 50 in each printer, no matter what you have selected. So as soon as it gets lower than 50, it just would send more, because those particular ingots are used the most frequently. So gotta set the pins. Select the vending machine, the auto lathe, the hydraulic pipe bender, electronics printer, tools printer, got to set up these hash displays as well. And we are now on day 38. Gotta label the IC housings so I know what's what. This one's the printer master. And this one over here is the vending, what do I call it? The vending manager. Reconnect up those chutes. Find the right IC housing in the hash display. Get right underneath it so I can see what I'm looking at. There it is, printer master. And right now it's blank because there's nothing set on that chip. When I turn it on, there will be. And it looks like it's trying to deliver some steel. But the the digital chutes aren't turning on, and they should power themselves on automatically. And the reason for that is because I'm an idiot and I didn't hook them up with wiring. So I have to go into the scary, dangerous place here with all the turning turbines and hopefully not get my head chopped off and try and get this wire in a really awkward place here. How do you get that in there? There we go, that's better. I think if there was any danger of these turbines actually hurting you, I'd probably have to disassemble them or something. And then where's the other printer? How do I connect these? I don't want my head chopped off. Yeah. Yeah, that one's connected. That one's connected. Ah, there it is. Way down there. A really awkward place. There we go. So now I just gotta hook that into the printer system and should be good to go. And then I have I can't go all the way down to the bottom because I have heavy watt down there, so I'll gotta figure something else out. And I'll just curve it around and go in that way. And it says 0 kPa for my external, but then it also says minus 146 Celsius. So it's got some pressure left. Otherwise it would say nil in the temperature spot. Now I'm just trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to get the wiring in there. Bit of an awkward spot. I didn't really need to run the cable over, I can just run it straight down. Like that. And out of cables. Let's see if the chute will go back on. Yay, it goes back on. I was wondering if the wires would be in the way. It's nice and quiet in here now that I don't have any atmosphere anymore. lot of the background sounds have gone away, particularly those noisy windmills. And of course, whenever you splice into any of the wires hooked up to the printers, it resets all the printers. So if you're doing some sort of long-running print job, like printing out a printer mod or something like that, it can be kind of annoying if you clip those wires and then you're part of the way done and then you lose all that progress. Now it should power these chutes on, but it's not. I got them labeled right. And there's the text down there at the bottom. Oh, there they are. Which probably just needed to be reset. And there you see the vending machine is flipping around and trying to deliver stuff to the printers. Now we'll paste in the other program that I have. This one requires a stack pre-programming. So what you do is you just put the stack program on it, which just has a bunch of push commands. Put it in there, turn the power on, turn the power back off. And there you have it. The stack will remember everything you put on it, even after you take the chip out, put it back in the laptop, and reprogram it. Which doesn't work in the real world. Usually when you have a stack inside of a chip, as soon as you take power away from it, that stack is gone. The other thing I got to do is change the stack size to the number of elements within the stack that I have. By default I have 48 in this script, but I actually want 72. Now I got to set the pins. Needs the vending machine. Needs to do a lot of slot rating from that vending machine. The quantity display LED, so that first one. And that displays the number of the selected ingots that are currently in the vending machine. The dial, use to check it, and I'll leave the other two items. The last two are optional, and I leave them unset because I'm not using them right now. And it looks like my status is going red, and it has a picture of gold next to it, so that means it's trying to deliver gold to one of the printers, but it can't because the vending machine is out of gold. Put some steel on there so I can seal that off from the other side. And I can safely remove that glass. I want to be careful with that crowbar though. And I set this up to 17. Since there are 17 different items that I want to be displayed. Also got to set up this hash display, and it will read the value off of the IC housing for the for that vend controller. And then you can see I'm cycling through the different ingots when I change the dial. And each of the ingots, the number, that green number right next to it, that is the quantity I have in the vending machine. And there's not very much in that vending machine right now. Only 7 slots are used out of 100. That's the green 7 right next to it is telling you how many I have. And see that it just said 100 when I went past silver. So that means I have 100 silver inside that vending machine.
Hydration critical.
Should really label this one as well. And that's just the chip I set up a long time ago to automatically stop the printers. And then what I can do is turn that APC off, and it will turn off everything that has anything to do with the printers and save quite a bit of power. If I'm not actively using the printers, I might as well turn them off. Do a little shelf reorganization. And I'm just going to move all the spray paints down a notch. Reorganize things a little bit. And move that shelf down a bit as well. I'm starting to move all that stuff out of the way because I am wanting to get the advanced furnace set up as well. And it will probably be somewhere in the area where I moved those shelves away from. And looks like we're coming to the end of this episode. And thank you very much to everyone who is liking and subscribing and commenting. I appreciate that. Check on the plants. And they are ready to give me some seeds and fruit.
Filter low.